All right, we are back at the John Ingold Athletic Complex on the campus of Goshen College, where the live stream decided that it needed to be reset for reasons that are not immediately clear, or we would tell it not to do that in the future. But Goshen leads this one 3-1 here in the bottom half, or the top half of the second inning. Marion got a leadoff throwing error from Goshen's third baseman. They've got a runner on second and nobody out. Here's the pitch to Wyrie, which is swung on and fouled back at the plate. So 1 run on 2 hits for Marion, 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Goshen. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That is a ball off the inside part of the plate. And it's 3-2. As the at-bat ends in 6 pitches, as Pawelski gets Wyrie to strike out swinging. And there's 1 away.
Phillips to bat for the Knights.
That'll bring Phillips up to the plate for Marion. As, let's see, Caitlin Phillips bunts it back to the mound. Pawelski fields and throws to first, where Bachtel, the second baseman, covers on the sacrifice. And the runner moves over to third base, but that will bring the top of the order, Harwager, up to the plate with 2 away in the top of the second. Harwager was hit by a pitch to lead off the ball game about 24 minutes ago. And the first pitcher for at bat this time is grounded over to third. Landry fields this one, throws to first, and got the runner by half a step. So there's redemption for the third baseman, who starts the inning with a throwing error and then ends it on the ground ball to the hot corner. No runs on no hits for Marion at the end of an inning and a half. It's Knights 3, Maple Leafs 1 on Go Leafs Live. Miranda Hippolito will lead off the bottom of the second inning for Goshen College, as we're going to pause for a moment and let first base coach Ryan Yoakum run over behind home plate and actually get in, I would say, the coaching box, but there is not actually a box painted on the field over there. He's standing where the box is supposed to be. 0-1 the count as Hippolito takes a strike. Here's the second pitch of the at-bat, which is swung on and popped up to third base. We'll call it a soft line drive. It looks better in the box score that way. Hippolito retired as Phillips makes the grab, and Cassandra Espinoza
up to bat.
Comes to the plate for the Maple Leafs. Espinoza, senior right fielder, also did some catching in her early years, but Catellis has pretty much got that gig nailed down now. And she takes up high on ball 1. As Goshen comes up for Marion sent 10 batters to the plate in the first 2 innings. Goshen has only sent 7, but they've only gone through an inning and a third. Here's the second pitch to Espinoza. This one is up in the air to shallow right field. Coming on and making the catch out there is Wyrie for the second out of the inning.
Number 12, Jolie Gronenveld, up to bat for the Leafs.
Jolie Groneveld comes to the plate for Goshen. The shortstop really kind of functions as a second leadoff hitter. One of their games over the weekend, the top third of the order had like 6 of the team's 10 hits, and she had 3 of the remaining 4, as she swings and misses at the first pitch. take a look at Goshen's. Let's try that again. Goodness. The second pitch is up high for ball one, but Groneveld hitting .421 on the season, 16 for 38. Here's the third pitch coming from Wilson, swung on and missed, strike two. Wilson at 27 pitches to get through 2 innings. We saw, like over the weekend, there was a lot. The games took a while because there were far more walks than anybody wanted to see. I think Goshen got 5 straight hit batters or walks to start the game against Lords, where the offense kind of exploded. And we've got 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scoreboard shows 1 and 2. And the 2-2 pitch now up high, ball 3. So Groneveld back in the box, and here's the payoff pitch. Swung on, fouled back. We'll do it again. Another payoff pitch coming. This one is fouled off and back into the catcher. Looked like it hit Becker on the left hip. And we will again repeat the process. After Groneveld, it'll be Edith Vega as the order rolls over. And here's the 3-2 pitch number 3. This one fouled back over the stream, and then hopefully it doesn't hit the porta-john back there. That'd be a slightly unpleasant sensation if you're taking care of business and you get a visit from a softball. But the facility opens away from the field, so hopefully you at least have a wall in front of you. And Groneveld fouls off the 4th consecutive pitch. And now I am like panicking and checking the video stream every 2 minutes. Here's another 3-2. This one is, stop me if you've heard this before, fouled off. I think it was the Mets had somebody that had 22 pitch at bat in a spring training game over the weekend. Here's the... Why do I even bother telling you what's going on right now? This will be the 12th pitch of the at-bat to the player wearing uniform number 12. And here we go. Ground ball through the hole on the left side. Most importantly, it's in fair territory, and Groneveld's on with a single.
Edith Vega.
That's going to bring Edith Vega to the plate for Goshen. As she, I think, was hit by a pitch as we started the bottom of the first. First pitch to Vega up high, ball 1. And if she keeps the order alive, we'll have Scheiplein and then Catellis. Here's the 1-0. That one is a strike on the outside corner. Now as the the left-handed batter faces the left-handed pitcher. The 1-1 pitch on the way. That missed outside. One thing I was noticing looking at Marion's season stats is they've only used 3 pitchers all year. So this is not a team that I expect to see, oh, somebody's in trouble, they're going to go to the bullpen right away here. But they are down 3-1 in the second inning. And the count is 3-1 to the leadoff batter, Vega. That one's up high for ball 4. And there are 2 on with 2 away. Wilson's thrown 41 pitches so far, and she has missed the strike zone with 18 of them. Well, I should amend that. She has thrown 18 pitches that have been called balls. She may have thrown other pitches that missed the strike zone that Goshen swung on. Here's the first pitch to Scheiplein, a little bit of a slap attack, and she pops it up to second base as Cadle makes the grab to end the inning. So Goshen leaves 2 after a walk and a 12-pitch single, and at the end of 2 innings, it's Maple Leafs 3, Knights 1. This is Goshen College Softball on Go Leafs Live. All right, here we go with the the top of the third inning. That'll work better. Cassidy Cadle steps in for Marion. She's got one of the night's two hits today. She singled to left in the first inning and was stranded at third base as the inning ended. She will, well, the single might work, but she'll try not to be stranded at the end of this inning. Pawelski has the pitch call, does a little twist to the right thing that she does a lot, and there's a line drive past Landry at third. Cadle around third or first base. She is on her way into second, and she hits on a Bernie Quintero homer in the first inning. Here's a fly ball to right center that is fielded by Vega for the second out. That will bring the Knights' designated player to the plate as Sarah Cush came in batting 138 on the season, 4 for 29. Then she's 4 for 30 after popping up to Rihanna Catellis over here in front of our broadcast position in the first inning. First pitch to Cush is high ball one. So 4 for 30, exactly 133 as you're now tuning into Let's Do Math on the broadcast, which is a slightly dangerous proposition. And the count 1-0. Here's the second pitch. That one's hit on the ground, foul past third, 1-1. And we've got, nice air there from Pawelski to keep the returned foul ball from sailing over her head as Catellis goes out there to calm down the pitcher. Pawelski was, I think, an NJCAA All-American as a freshman at Lackawanna College over in Pennsylvania, and then of course, nobody really got to do the softball thing last year because COVID-19 happened. 1-1, the count on Cush, and the pitch is swung on and popped up. And Catellis moves to a right this time and makes the grab. So, it's been a while since I've done P2F for the same batter in two consecutive at-bats, but here we are, 2 away in the inning. And that'll bring Sierra Norman to the plate. Norman is 10 for 47 on the season. Right around the Mendoza line, the 200 mark. Today in useless baseball and softball trivia, what was Mario Mendoza's actual career average? 215. But the source of the name is that he was sort of consistently around that 200 mark. And the first pitch to Norman is outside for a ball. The 1-0 pitch fouled straight back, 1-1. Count on the batter. And Pawelski is 2 pitches away from getting out of the inning with a 2-run lead. Goshen will have the meat of the order due up in the bottom of the inning. It'll be Catellis, Quintero, and Pawelski. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed strike 2. And Hyatt would follow if Norman's able to keep the inning alive. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Just high ball 2. It was 41 degrees when we started. No wind chill to speak of because there's not much wind. But it's not going to get any warmer as the afternoon progresses. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That one is fouled back to the screen and hits off the point of the dirt behind home plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, as Vince Scully would say, deuce is wild. And number 22 on the mound, Pawelski comes home, and there is a swing and a line drive to left, but that is well left and out of play. On the other hand, it's a pretty good reminder that Norman has some pop. That and the fact that she doubled last time up. Here now, the 7th pitch of the at-bat, swung on, popped up to the left side. This one is not nearly as far up there, and I heard it hit something back behind us to the left. Out of play. This will be the 8th pitch to Norman. That one missed inside, ball 3. Pawelski, I think, has thought she's been out of the inning a couple of times. She's thrown a couple of pitches that have just missed the zone that, from her body language, she thought they were strike 3. And the plate umpire has disagreed, but when you get into wearing the blue uniform of the umpire, you get used to that. Here's the 3-2 pitch, swung on and popped up to the right side. Charging over is Espinoza, but I think it hit off the safety railing at the top of the fence. And that is about a 6-foot fence all the way around, so it's not the easiest thing in the world to grab the ball above the top of. If you were to say, well, if Wilt Chamberlain were playing first base, I'm sure he could do it, but Wilt was rather notorious for being prolific at things. And the less said about that, probably the better. 3-2, the count to Norman. This one is fouled over to the left side. And let's see how fast I can count here. This will be the 11th pitch of the at-bat. Last Tuesday, if you were with us, the Maple Leafs got out of an inning in 3 pitches as that one's ruled a foul ball as Norman got a piece of it and sent it careening past Catellis. If it had been a swing and a miss and it got through the catcher, Norman would have been entitled to run and Goshen would have had to get the out at first base. But a foul ball does not have that option. So this is our second 12-pitch at-bat of the first 2.5 innings of the conference season. As Pawelski has the pitch call and comes home, and it's ball 4 up high. So all that work for a walk.
Hyatt to bat.
And Hyatt will come to the plate. She struck out swinging in the first inning. Hyatt, an 083 hitter this year, 2 for 24, has the tying runs on base in the top of the third and takes a strike. If the inning continues, Horan would follow. Here's the second pitch of the at-bat from Pawelski, and this is swung on and lined out into left field. Backing up is Scheiplein, and she will run out of real estate. A 3-run shot down the left field line from Hyatt puts the Knights up 4-3. As the homer giveth, and the homer taketh away. So how big does Norman being able to hang in there and work the walk look now, as she kept the inning alive? As the plate umpire has gone out to investigate the softball. And now we will get a... We will get the next batter to the plate as Lainey Horan steps in. She is 480 hitter this year. A little bit curious. They've got their second highest batting average on the team sitting in the 7-hole. Left-handed batting center fielder faces right-handed throwing pitcher. First pitch to Horan misses inside, ball 1. Horan reached base on the throwing error to start the second inning. Was stranded at third base at the end of that inning. And the 1-0 pitch here swung on and fouled off to the left side. 1-1 the count. 2 away in the top of the third. Here's the third pitch of the at-bat, swung on and hit out into center field. Coming in a couple of steps to make the grab is Vega, but Marion's damage has been done. A walk and a couple of hits, the last of which is a 3-run homer. And at the end of 2.5 innings, it's the Knights 4, the Maple Leafs 3. This is Crossroads League Softball on Go Leafs Live. It'll be time to start the bottom of the third inning here in a moment, and the Maple Leafs will start things off with Rihanna Catellis. Bernie Quintero and Mia Pawelski will follow her as Goshen sends its 3, 4, and 5 hitters up here in the bottom of the third. As Catellis has the shortest hit of the game so far, a bunt back to the pitcher in the first inning. That scored Goshen's first run and set up Quintero for the 2-run shot just left of the center field flagpole that put Goshen out in front 3-1. As the pitch to Catellis missed outside, and we've got 2 balls and 1 strike. Catellis swings, and this one is in the air to the outfield, but not that far. Coming in and moving to her right is the center fielder Horan to make the grab. And there is 1 out in the bottom of the third. Quintero. Oh, if this were TV, we'd have, the cool multiple angles of her ball sailing over the center field fence. But, cameras are expensive. And the first pitch of her second at bat is a strike at the knees. No balls, 1 strike. Second pitch forthcoming here. This one is on the ground over to the hole at third base. It is grabbed, and we've got a dive for the bag at first as Harwager went over in the hole to make the play, and they're going to say that she threw out the runner
22, Mia Pawelski
at
up to bat for the lead.
first base. As Quintero made a dive for the bag and got the front of her uniform top all dirty and was still called out. That'll bring Pawelski to the plate. She singled to right center her first time up, takes the first pitch of this at bat up high, and the count 1-0. Second pitch fouled back straight toward the bleacher section over there behind home plate. And the count 1-1. Now, that Wilson misses low as both pitchers up around the 50 pitch mark through 3 innings of work. That would seem to suggest that, we're already right after the time change here. We've got about 5 hours to get this doubleheader in, so playing 50 bazillion innings isn't going to help anybody as Pawelski pops up and the catch is made in the right-handed batter's box by Hyatt. Where I was going with that, though, is I don't expect that if we go extra innings, we're going to see the same pitchers go all the way either. At the end of 3 innings, it's Marion 4, Goshen 3, and you're listening to Go Leafs Live. Back for the top of inning number 4 here at the John Ingold Athletic Complex in Goshen, Indiana. And Marion will have Abby Wiry, the sophomore from Lebanon, Indiana, coming to the plate. In the top of the second, I think she struck out swinging while we were fixing the video stream. And her first pitch seen here from Pawelski is up high, ball one. If you're just joining us, each team with a 3-run inning in this contest. Marion scored 1 in the first inning on a walk and a couple of singles. Goshen added a 3-run inning highlighted by Quintero's 2-run homer in the bottom of that frame. And then a 3-run inning for Marion in the top of the third made it 4-3 as that pop is caught by Quintero. 1 away in the top of the fourth, as this is the half inning that will take us to the midway point of today's doubleheader. That's going to bring Phillips up to the plate. Caitlin Phillips, the former Bulldog from Crown Point, Indiana, and she swings the first pitch and lines it over to Stacy Landry. So it's a great grab from the third baseman who, good thing I got the school nickname trivia in on the first pitch because there was no second pitch. That'll bring Harwiger up to the plate for the Knights as she appears for the third time in the fourth inning, which tells you some things about how the game has progressed in terms of bats being put on balls. She was hit by a pitch in the first inning, grounded out to third in the second, takes the first pitch of the at-bat outside, ball one. Goshen will be back in action here on Friday as they host Indiana Wesleyan at 3 p.m. Haven't figured out for sure which game I'll be at yet because the baseball team is also playing Indiana Wesleyan at 1, which is, fun times, multiple events, and only one of me. As Harwiger swings and misses the 1-0. Here's Pawelski's third pitch of the at-bat. That one's low and away, ball 2. Of course, baseball plays the 4-game series, so if you're at home Friday, you're also at home Saturday, as the Maple Leaf men will host Indiana Wesleyan. Softball's on the road Saturday. They get to make their long trip of the season out to Mount Vernon Nazarene in southeastern Ohio. Going out there is so much fun, right, Maddie? Mount Vernon Nazarene? Did you guys get to go there this year?
Yeah, it's a terrible bus ride.
All I have to say is at least you're on a bus and not in a van.
Yeah, 5 hours is not
Yeah.
nice car.
It's between 4.5 and 5, I'll say. I don't think it's quite 5 full hours, but at that point, it doesn't make a whole lot of a difference as there's a dribbler over to third. Throw looked like it beat the runner, but the umpire disagrees. And Harwiger's on with an infield single. If you were with us in the last inning, you saw where Marion kept the inning alive with 2 outs and was very lucky in the products of that as the next batter exited the premises or caused the softball to do so. Here's the first pitch to Cadle, up high, ball 1. Cadle's halfway to a cycle, although it's the easy half. She singled in the first, doubled in the third. You need a triple and a homer in the same game to do that. And in softball, a couple of mitigating factors there. You're only playing 7 innings, and the other thing is you've got a run rule if you get too much offense going. So, also, this is not the largest field in the world. It's 220 all the way around, and that might be a little on the overestimated side. So, triples are not the easiest thing to come by at the Ingold Athletic Complex. 1-0, the count from Pawelski to Cadle. Here's the pitch, and that one is in the dirt, ball 2. Meat of the order to follow in the person of Stotts, followed by Cush in the 3 and 4 spots. And we will pause, and momentarily the 2-0 pitch. Swung on, lined out in the air to right field. Backing up is Espinosa. She makes a nice running grab over there in the corner to take an extra base hit away.
Great catch by Espinosa.
And at the end of 3.5 innings, it is Marion 4, Goshen 3. No runs on 1 hit for the Knights. We're halfway home, and Marion leads by 1 on Go Leafs Live. Stacy Landry comes to the plate for the Maple Leafs. We get the bottom of the fourth inning underway. Marion leading 4-3. First pitch to her is a strike on the inside corner. No balls and a strike. As Landry lined out to second her first time up. Second pitch she sees here is off the inside corner, ball one. So it'll be Landry, Hippolito, and Espinoza, 6, 7, and 8. 6, 7, and 8. Where'd Oat come from? In the order for the Maple Leafs, as the middle third of their order went out in order the last time up, and a good job there from Wyrie to flag down a shot in the right center field gap and hold Landry to a single, as otherwise that was going all the way to the wall.
24, Miranda Hippolito up to bat.
Although from where that was going to the wall from, it would have only been maybe 15 or 20 more feet. We'll get a pinch runner for the Maple Leafs as Ellie Van Heerde comes in for Landry.
Van Heerde to run for Landry.
And Hippolito will try to move her over regardless of who the runner is, as Scott Fleming looks a little bit lonely over in that Marion dugout. That's a team that only travels about 18 people. And, well, we'll say there are 18 of them on the roster, and we've got, 3 or 4 out behind the dugout here pitching batting practice as a bunt comes back to the circle. Throw over to first base is taken by Wilson. And they're going to throw across the diamond and get Van Heerde trying to slide into third base as Maple Leaf head coach Julia Claire Plesbert is out there rather demonstratively trying to show that she didn't. So if it stands as called, which it probably will because the coach's record in these arguments is not real great. It goes as a double play, 1-4-5, and there are 2 outs in the inning.
2, Cassandra Espinoza up to bat.
As we have, I think there was a warning issued from the umpire to the head coach and third base coach, which has to be recorded on the lineup card, which means there's a delay. But anyway, there are 2 outs, and Espinoza takes a strike at the letters. Cass flied out to right her first time up. And if she can get on here, Groneveld will come up yet in the fourth, which means the order starts anew in the fifth. The 1-0 misses low ball 2. Of course, that point would kind of be moot if the runner were still on base, because then there would just be 1 out. As the 2-0 misses, I have to admit I'm not sure where that missed, but I've got 3-0. 2 balls and 1 strike. Okay, I had the right number of pitches in the wrong count. This is a dangerous thing as Espinoza's pop-up goes out into right center field. This time it is Horan moving to her left and calling off Wyrie that ends the inning. So the Maple Leafs get a single, but end the inning in 3 batters thanks to the double play. No runs on 1 hit through 4 innings. It's Marion 4, Goshen 3 on Go Leafs Live. It'll be Shelby Stotts to lead off the top of the fifth for Marian University, which leads the Maple Leafs of Goshen College by the count of 4-3 in the top of the fifth. As Mia Pawelski comes home with the first pitch, and it's a strike on the inside corner. Stotts flied out to right and center her first two times up. The second pitch of this at bat misses up high for ball one. Marion's got the meat of its order due up, but with an adjustment, as Maddie Foster and Sierra Norman will follow. Foster is a pinch hitter for Cush, who was the DP to start the game, and she's out in the on-deck circle. 1-1 the count on Stotts, and the third pitch of the at-bat is fouled off into the Marion bullpen. Make it 1-2. As we started getting into this in the last inning, but Goshen with, 6 home dates this week? Softball today, baseball on Wednesday, baseball again on Friday, then more softball on Friday, and baseball and men's volleyball both on Saturday, and, well, everything but men's volleyball happens to be a doubleheader. 2-2 as that misses outside, as Stotts tries to extend Marion's lead. She takes the fifth pitch of the at-bat up high for ball number 3. No place to put the pitch, at least in the count. There were plenty of places to put the runner. And Pawelski would like to set her back where she came from in the first base dugout. Here's the payoff pitch, swung on and popped up behind the plate. That's going to land somewhere over there, I hope. Gravity does its thing, but I can't actually see where it landed. But as they say, what goes up must come down. Pawelski about to throw her 73rd pitch of the game here in the fifth inning. I don't think that's the model of efficiency she had in mind, as this one's hit out in the air to center field, moving to her right and calling off the corner outfielder to make the catch is Vega for the first out of the inning.
Good catch by Edith Vega.
That's going to bring Foster to the plate, the pinch hitter.
Foster to bat.
As Maddie is a freshman outfielder from Columbus, Indiana, and Columbus East High School. It has always struck me as a little unusual. There's a Columbus North and a Columbus East, but no Columbus South or Columbus West. I was, as they say, not consulted when they named these schools. No balls and 1 strike as Foster fouls it off. As a pinch hitter, obviously this is her first appearance of the game. She's a .343 hitter, 12 for 35 on the season. Second pitch of the at-bat is a strike as she ran forward like she was looking to slap and then took the pitch, and it found the corner of the plate anyway. Count is no balls, 2 strikes. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher, and pitch off the outside corner, ball 1. Looks like they're rolling the practice soccer field over there. Here's the 1-2. That one's chopped foul off the plate. Well, I guess it's fair if it hit the plate, but then it went backward, which made it foul. As Norman would follow and then Hyatt if the inning continues. Is that all right back there? Good. So it's 1-2. Pawelski gets the pitch call and comes home, and this one's hit in the air out to left field. Scheiplein will come in a little bit and make the catch for the second out of the fifth inning. That'll bring up Marion's first baseman, Sierra Norman, who was 9 for 46 coming into the game. She's now 10 for 47, which doesn't divide nicely. Has reached base both times with a double and a walk. Would keep the inning alive with either one of them here, as the first pitch is popped foul up off the very top of the screen. No balls and a strike. If you're just joining us, we've had a pair of 12-pitch at-bats in this game as some people got really good at fouling balls into places they weren't supposed to go. One of those for each team. And now Norman has fouled off the first 2 pitches of this at-bat. I mean, I suppose there's really no place the ball is not supposed to go. That's not really how that works. But it was not within the 90-degree angle defined by the foul lines, we'll put it that way. Here's the 0-2 pitch on the way. That one is up high. One ball and 2 strikes as Pawelski about 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. She'll try it here on the 1-2 pitch, or 82nd of the game. This one is swung on and popped up over to the left side, and it was too far left. So we stay 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the 5th pitch of the at-bat, swung on and lined out into center field. Moving to her left is Vega. She dives and the ball gets past her, but Espinoza is able to cut it off before it rolls to the wall. Norman's on with a single, and the Knights keep the inning alive for Hyatt, who launched the 3-run homer her last time up. That was in the 2nd inning. Goshen then proceeded to have a fairly short inning at the plate in the bottom of the 3rd. So it felt like we got a lot of Marion batting in a fairly small amount of time between the top of the 3rd and the top of the 4th. Hyatt has struck out swinging and hit the 3-run homer to left. Those are really the 2 extremes of the plate appearance spectrum. I guess you could hit into a double play, or worse, triple play. Or have one of those really ignominious moments like get called for hitting the ball while you're out of the batter's box, but that would require that we could see the batter's box, which we pretty much can't at this point. 0-1, the count to Hyatt. Here's the 2nd pitch from Pawelski. That one's up high, ball 1. This is a doubleheader, so we'll be back here for Game 2 about half an hour after Game 1 ended. Last year, the intermission between these 2 games was 37 minutes, and that became a sticking point as we played until darkness. But here's the 3rd pitch of the at-bat. That one's even higher, ball 2. Two outs in the frame, so Goshen could get the out here, and they would have the de facto top of their order in Groneveld and the actual leadoff hitter coming up in the bottom of the 5th. I guess that is true regardless of how Marion ends the inning. It's not like Goshen's order moves based on where the inning ends, but they would certainly rather come up down 1 run than down by more than 1 run. And the 3-1 to Hyatt on the way here. Up high, ball 4. So Catullus will go out to the mound, or the circle, because there's no actual mound on a softball field. The plate umpire goes out and tells them to break up the conversation, and Horan, who reached base on a throwing error in the 2nd and lined out to center field in the 3rd, will try to make the Maple Leafs pay for giving up a couple of base runners here after 2 quick outs. Pawelski checks the wristband for what exactly she's supposed to do, and gives up a ground ball up the middle. Bachtel flips it to second base, and Groneveld wasn't able to hang on, I think, as they were called out, or the runner, I think, was called out, and Scott Fleming in the third base coach's box wants to check whether she held on to the ball, and now we're going to have a conversation, but I thought I saw the ball on the ground from up here. So these conversations tend to be pretty quick and straightforward. Either the plate umpire saw something or he didn't. And at that point, I wonder if he was looking somewhere other than second base. Goshen gets out of the inning on a fielder's choice. The second, no runs, 1 hit, and 2 left on for the Knights. We go to the bottom of the fifth, Marion 4, Goshen 3 on Go Leafs Live. Bottom half of the fifth from the John Ingold Athletic Complex, Jolie Groneveld, Edith Vega, and Reagan Scheipline due up for Goshen College, which has a 7-game winning streak on the line, but hasn't won a conference game since 2019. Of course, if you're paying attention, you know they only played 2 conference games last year, and that was against a top 10 Marion team, and the Knights won both of those as Groneveld hits one in the air out to right field. That is backing off the fence, hit off the Goshen word mark, and she is into second base, standing up on the first pitch of the inning. If it hits off the fence on the fly, I think I can justify using the phrase deep right field in the box score. So the tying runs on second, nobody's out, and Edith Vega stands in without an at-bat on the day. I don't mean she's a pinch hitter. I mean both of her plate appearances have resulted in things that do not count against her batting average. She was hit by a pitch in the first inning and walked in the second, as the first pitch to her is up high for ball 1. Wilson's thrown 62 pitches through 4 innings. So she was exactly at 60 at the end of the fourth. And Vega swings, hits this one back up the middle. It's out into center, but it gets there pretty quickly. Horan fields it. Throw to the plate is not in time. Throw back to second won't get Vega, who moves up on the throw. And the Maple Leafs have 2 hits on 3 pitches. And we are tied at 4 with nobody out in the bottom of the fifth.
Number 1, Reagan Scheipline, up to hit.
Scheipline sacrifice bunted in the first, popped to second in the second. She can't pop to fifth in the fifth because there is no fifth base. And she takes a strike, as I think she was trying to slap or looking to slap at that one from the left-handed batter's box. LeBron joining Red Sox ownership. That is an alert that I just got. Second pitch to Scheipline, fouled back off the wall behind home plate. No balls and 2 strikes. Isn't LeBron a known Yankees fan?
Not sure about that one.
Do I have better things to do than keep track of who LeBron is a fan of in baseball? Yes. The 0-2 to Scheipline misses outside ball 1. After Scheipline, Catellis would follow, reigning Conference Player of the Week and Maple Leaf Student Athlete of the Week. And we've got a dead ball, and Scheipline is out, having stepped on home plate while she hit the ball. So score that, 2 unassisted. And Rihanna Catellis will come to the plate, 1 for 2 on the day with a bunt, single, and a flyout. First pitch to Catellis misses outside ball 1. You can step on the, you got to have both feet in the batter's box when you make contact. What you do after that is up to you, as Catellis flies this one out into deep right center field. Catch is made by Wyrie, who uncorks a throw somewhere, I think. Okay, got cut off in the outfield, as there are now 2 outs, and Vega moves over to third base. So Quintero hit a 2-run homer to center in the first inning, could hit another one here in the fifth, that would really help Goshen's cause. But a mere single or a wild pitch or a pass ball or an illegal pitch or any number of things could score the runner from first base. First pitch to Quintero, I think, missed outside. Here's the second. That one's a strike. I've got 1-1. The scoreboard says 0-1, and I can't prove that either of us are right. Now the scoreboard says 1-1, and I still can't prove that I'm right. Umpire's back in position. Third pitch of the at-bat. Missed inside. Counts 2-1. As we're tied here in the bottom of the fifth, somebody's either going to have to score or we're going to have to play till it gets dark, and then we're going to have to come back and finish game two at a later date. So the somebody scores option, I think, would be preferred by both coaches, although they could be forgiven for having differing opinions on which team should score. 3-1's the count given by the plate umpire. Quintero to finish this thought is 1 for 2. She flied out her other time up, and now she swings and misses, and the count runs full. I think we've got until about 7:45 till it's dark, and we'd rather not test that hypothesis this year. Here's the payoff pitch and a line drive out into left center field. It is grabbed by Stotts, who cuts it off in the gap, and the inning comes to a close as Goshen gives one a ride but can't find grass with it out there in the outfield. Goshen scores once on 2 hits. They leave a runner, and we go to the 6th. It's Marion 4, Goshen 4 on Go Leafs Live. Marion will send up 8-9-1 in the order to face Mia Pawelski for her 6th inning of work. Here in the top of the 6th from the Ingold Athletic Complex, it's Marion 4, Goshen 4, and Wyrie hits one on the ground. Charging it from short is Groneveld. The throw over to first gets the runner. And there's 1 pitch and 1 out here in the top of inning number 6. That's going to bring Phillips up to the plate for Marion. She's 0 for 1. As the Knights have 6 hits, 2 from Cadle and 2 from Norman, then 1 apiece from Herwiger and Hyatt. Goshen's 7 hits have come from 6 different players. Groneveld is the one with 2. Here's the first pitch to Phillips. It misses low and away for ball 1. If you were looking at the box score from over the weekend, you noticed that we had some fun in the top of the first game on, or the bottom of the first, in the first game on Sunday, when Goshen hit Lord's pitching so hard that the Gray Wolves, not only did they make 2 pitching changes in the first inning, their second pitching change was putting the starter who they had taken out earlier back in the circle, which is the first time in my 7 years Goshen has forced a team to do that, and it was the first inning no less, as here's a bunt back to the circle. Pawelski throws the ball into right field as there was nobody covering the base. Now Espinoza's over to clean it up, and the throw back into the infield is that will keep her at third. So that's going to go, there's no runner on base, so that can't be a sacrifice, but it's a bunt and a throwing error as Pawelski will get charged with the miscue there, and the go-ahead run is at third. Harwiger's 1 for 2. She was hit by a pitch in the first inning, grounded to third in the second, and single to third in the fourth. Here's the the first pitch of her fourth at bat, I should say. And she takes a strike on the outside corner. Cadle would follow unless she hits into a double play here. And the 0-1 pitch is a strike on the outside corner. 0-2. Left-handed batter facing a right-handed pitcher. Runner on third, one away, and the 0-2 pitch misses outside. The error there is charged to Pawelski because she is the one that threw the softball, but it certainly looked like the issue was there was nobody covering the base. As Bachtel hadn't gotten there in time to cover Quintero, who was charging the bunt. As the 1-2 pitch misses outside for ball two. Tie ball game, Marion 4, Goshen 4. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, top of the 6th. Pawelski rocks again, comes home, and the pitch is lined out into center field. Making the grab is Vega. She's going to throw it into Catellis, who comes in, just about stepped on the bat out there between the plate and the circle. But it's the second out of the inning. And now Catellis has to yell 4 times to get the attention of her coach to get the play call. They'll bring Cadle to the plate. She is 2 for 3 with a single, a double, and a flyout. As an out here could keep the run from scoring, but they won't get one as the single goes through the left side, just about hit the base umpire, in fact. Phillips comes in to score. Cadle with the RBI single. The run is unearned because of the throwing error, but it still counts, and Marion takes a 5-4 lead. Stotts is flied out all 3 times. She's flied out to right in the first inning and center in the third and center in the fifth. Now she comes up in the 6th with 2 outs and a runner on first. First pitch is a strike over the inside part of the plate. And Pawelski will come back to the circle. There's a little twist to the right, and the 0-1 pitch No, it got the corner. Strike 2. Pawelski just crossed the 100 pitch mark with the first delivery of this at bat. Unless one of these teams triggers the 8-run rule at the end of 6 innings somehow, she's still got an inning to go as the pitch is swung on and fouled up the right field line. Espinoza can't quite bring it in on a bounce. There was a bounce anyway. It doesn't matter that she couldn't bring it in. And the count stays at 0-2. Off the bat, I had hoped that would stay up long enough for her to get up and get under it, but it was not to be. I also have a hope over there that we will see the ball go through the tarp cylinder at some point. But that's just because I'm weird like that. Here's the 0-2 pitch on the way. This one is swung on and popped up on the left side. Landry coming in along the foul line and makes the grab. And they don't give the foul ball signal, so we'll call that a fair pop out to the third baseman as the inning comes to a close. Marion scores once on 1 hit, an error and a runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's Marion 5, Goshen 4 on Go Leafs Live. Mia Pawelski back out of the dugout. The pitcher
22, Mia
also
Pawelski,
comes
up
to the
bat for
plate
Leafs.
to start the bottom of the sixth. It'll be Pawelski, Landry, and Hippolito for Goshen as Pawelski takes a strike over the inside part of the plate. Mia has singled to right center and popped foul to the catcher in her 2 plate appearances. Here's the second pitch of her third, and I think it's low. And we go to a ball and a strike. Here's the third pitch. That one was not low as she takes a strike. It looked like, I'm not sure that was the beginning of a step or if she lost her balance in the batter's box. 1-2 the count, and Wilson comes home with her 79th pitch of the day. It was the beginning of a step because she just did it again. Ball 2. So the count is 2-2. The batter's number is 22. Goshen has scored 4 runs, which is 2 plus 2, and we're in the 6th. The 2-2 pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. I'm going to bring Stacy Landry to the plate.
Stacy Landry to bat.
Landry's 1 for 2, hit the ball hard both times with a line out to second and a single to right center. Right-handed batting third baseman steps into the batter's box. Pitch comes home and it's a strike. After Landry, it'd be Hippolito to follow. Then Espinoza, Groneveld, and Vega right now would be due up in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the 0-1 to Landry. It is fouled back, and I think it caught the plate umpire on a bounce.
Did you grab that little device back there and push that to the limit? Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if it works.
Here's the 0-2 to Landry. That one missed everything and heads back to the backstop. It would have been a wild pitch had there been runners on base, but there are not. So the count 1-2. Here's the 4th pitch of the at-bat on the way. That's up high, ball 2. And we're ready for pitch number 5. Wilson rocks and fires. It's pitch number 85. This is in the air, out toward the outfield. Moving to her left, cutting in front of her counterpart to make the grab is Horan in right center field, and there are 2 outs for Miranda Hippolito. The designated player is 0 for 1. She's lined out to third and sacrifice bunted in the 4th. And the first pitch to Hippolito is a ball outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Two outs in the bottom of the 6th, and Hippolito swings and pops this one up the elevator shaft. Moving over to her right to make the catch is Hyatt in foul ground, and Goshen gets a Goshen goes down in order, I should say, despite making contact on 2 of the 3 plate appearances. We go to the 7th. It's Marion 5, Goshen 4 on Go Leafs Live. Marion has Foster, Norman, and Hyatt due up as we start the top of the 7th inning from the Ingold Athletic Complex on the campus of Goshen College. Foster came in as a pinch hitter in the 5th, flying out to left, now comes up here in the 7th, trying to extend the lead. First pitch from Pawelski swung on, grounded up the middle, and past the diving Bachtel into center field. Vega up with it quickly and returns it to the infield, so it's just a leadoff single for the Marion DP. But the first baseman, Norman, will come up and try to change that. She's got the difficult portion of the cycle to go. She's doubled in the first and singled in the 5th, around a walk in the 3rd, so she's been on base all 3 times. Driven in a run in the process. Also scored a run in the process. Here's the first pitch. Up high, ball 1 as Foster jumps off first base. See the baseball team out there doing some work on its field. They'll get to use that tomorrow at 2 o'clock when the Maple Leafs play Cleary. The 1-0 catches the inside corner at the knees for strike 1. Pawelski has thrown 106 pitches in this game, and she's got to get at least 3 more outs to get out of it. And of course, if Goshen scores exactly 1 more run in its half of the 7th than Marion does in this half of the inning, then we would play extra innings as the 1-1 outside throw back behind the runner doesn't accomplish anything, just makes them chase the ball down. Hyatt would follow Norman, then Horan if the inning continues, which Goshen certainly hopes it doesn't. Bunt is popped up on the infield. Pawelski field throws over to Bachtel covering the base. It's 1-4 on the sacrifice for the first out of the inning, as Foster moves up to second. That'll bring Hyatt up to the plate, the catcher. And let's see. Hyatt was the one we had batting at 087 coming into the game. She was 2 for 23, but she has homered and walked in her last 2 plate appearances. The first pitch to Hyatt, low and in, ball 1. So Hyatt now, 3 for 25, which is 120 on the year. Pawelski stands in the pitching circle, comes home with the 1-0 pitch. This one's hit on the ground to the right of second base. Groneveld will throw it over to first. Pick from Quintero for the second out of the inning, and then they throw across the diamond, but are not able to get the runner, Foster, who is into third, standing up. So Foster 60 feet away from doubling the Marion lead. And Horan, the center fielder, comes to the plate. She reached base on a throwing error in the second, lined out to center in the third, and would reach on a fielder's choice to the shortstop in the 5th. Now she comes up in the 7th, tries to slap at the first pitch, but it's hard to slap at a pitch that's up around your neck. She takes ball 1. Left-handed batter faces the right-handed hurler. The 1-0 pitch, a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Horan keeps the inning alive. Wyrie would follow. There is a dribbler over to the third base side. Landry fields it and throws to first. The throw got there before the runner crosses the plate, which doesn't actually matter. But the inning ends nevertheless. So Goshen gives up the leadoff single and then gets out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Knights 5, Maple Leafs 4. Espinoza, Groneveld, and Vega due up to try to keep the inning game alive for Goshen College as they take on 5th-ranked Marion University. We will have a pitching change in the circle, it looks like, for the Knights, or maybe it's just Phillips picking up the ball out there to keep it warm. She's the third baseman, so she would reasonably be heading through the circle, and Wilson is indeed coming out. It'll be, like we said, 8, 9, and 1 in the Goshen order due up as we go to the bottom of the 7th on Go Leafs Live. Cass Espinoza will lead off the bottom of the seventh for Goshen College. She's put a charge into a couple of balls, flied out to right in the second inning and center field in the fourth. First pitch she sees here from Wilson is up high, ball one. Of course, softball games are only scheduled for 7 innings, so if Goshen doesn't score here, it's game over. And the 1-0 pitch is swung on, hit in the air out to shallow center field. Backing up out there and making the grab is Cadle, as she just about ran into Wyrie, her right fielder. But the first out of the inning recorded either way. And Groneveld will come up for the Maple Leafs. Groneveld singled through the hole at short in the second inning, doubled over there in the right center field gap in the fourth, I think. No, the fifth. And she takes ball one outside. Of course, the reality of this point in the game is you're dealing with tiring pitchers. I'm not sure that Wilson's that tired because 90 pitches isn't that many. But the 1-0 on the way to Groneveld is hit past third, and as it deflects off Phillips over to Harwegger, and the throw to first base is not in time. So Groneveld is on base. She's the tying run with 1 out in the inning. And she's 3 for 3. Vega, the left-handed batter, has reached base all 3 times. She walked in the first, walked in the second, singled up the middle in the fifth. Groneveld's got pretty good speed, so a double could end this game. And instead we've got a ground ball to third. The throw over to first is going to retire the batter. It's as good as a sacrifice, but on a swing it's not scored as such, as we're going to get a pinch hitter here. It looks like as Scheiplein.
Number 15, Ashley Glazer.
So Glazer will bat for Scheiplein as the pinch hitter steps in here. Not the easiest thing to do to come in cold, but Glazer on the season batting, she's 6 for 21, 286. Scheiplein was 5 for 18, so a little bit more experience here in the right-handed batter's box. She swings the first pitch, flares this one out to right field, and a running catch is made by Wyrie to end the game. Maple Leafs in a spot where a single in the gap could have tied it, but instead they put the ball in play and go down to the number 5 team in the country. So no runs on 1 hit for Goshen in the bottom of the 7th, and the Knights win it by a final score of 5-4. We'll take a look at your final totals here coming up in just a matter of moments, as we will start the second game probably between 5 o'clock and 5:05 here on Go Leafs Live. Welcome back to the John Ingold Athletic Complex on the campus of Goshen College, where the Maple Leafs of GC will try to get the better of the Marian University Knights in the second game of today's doubleheader, as Marian won the opener 5-4, and now we get set to do it again. For the Maple Leafs, it'll be Edith Vega to lead off, Mia Pawelski in right field, Rihanna Catellis the designated player, Bernie Quintero at first base, Stacy Landry at third, Kyra Wilson behind the plate, Jessica Bachtel at second, Allison Catenacci in the pitching circle, and Jolie Groneveld at short. Reagan Scheiplein rounds out the the defense, I should say, playing left field. She's the flex player this evening. For Marion, Savannah Harwegger at short, Cassidy Cadle at second, Shelby Stotts behind the plate, Reagan Hyatt at the DP, Sierra Norman, at first base, Maddie Foster in right, Lainey Horan in center, Abby Wyrie in left, Caitlin Phillips at third, and Abigail McPherson is the pitcher for Marion, which comes in with a 12-5 record. As we'll get started here a moment after 5 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. We do have daylight time, so it won't get dark until 7:30 or so. Sorry about that. I had to get the scoreboard fixed because it was still showing the score from the first game, and we'll get set to go here in just a matter of moments once we check our first pitch weather, but we will
Start out the second game.
Once we get things going, as the first pitch is up high to Harwegger. It's 42 degrees at game time with that's still the 3 o'clock observation. It's 42 degrees at game time, wind from the north at 5 miles an hour. And the first pitch the second pitch rather, is also a ball, and I think we're at 2-0. Harwegger, the left-handed batter, faces the right-handed Catenacci, who last worked over the weekend in the 4-game tournament at Ohio Christian. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher, strike outside corner, 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, Harwegger, Cadle, and Stotts for Marion in the top of the first. Hyatt, Norman, and Foster, the middle of the order. Horan, Wyrie, and Phillips, the bottom of the order. And the 2-1 pitch is low and away for ball 3. Goshen goes Scheiplein, Vega, and Pawelski in the outfield. Landry and Groneveld on the left side of the infield. Bachtel and Quintero on the right side. Wilson behind the plate as Catellis moves to the DP spot. And Catenacci in the circle. 3-1 the count as the pitcher from Illinois faces the batter out of probably Indiana somewhere, and the 3-1 is up high and misses. Harwegger from Seymour, Indiana, and Trinity Lutheran High School. And she draws the leadoff walk, and Wilson's going to head out to the circle and try to calm down the pitcher. Last year, Marion run-ruled the Maple Leafs in the second game of the doubleheader between these two teams, as we played right up to darkness last year. Cadle is in for the second at-bat of the ball game, and the first pitch is a strike at the plate. They're going to throw down to second base, and I thought the throw beat the runner, but Groneveld was out in front of the bag, and apparently in reaching back to make the tag, Harwegger got in safely. As whether the throw beats the runner and whether they tag the runner are two different things. No balls and 1 strike, the count, I would say on the scoreboard, but the strikes digit on the scoreboard appears to be not working. Second pitch here to Cadle is lined out into center field. Grab is made by Vega for the first out of the ball game. And that will bring Stotts to the plate in the catching possession. One on, one out, inning number 1, top of the first, no score. And the first pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. Again, these two teams played last year. That part of the year was kind of normal. It was the only conference doubleheader these two teams would play because by the time we got to next Friday, the world pretty much ended. As the bunt over to first, is it back to the circle, I should say, throw over to the first gets the runner on the sacrifice, and we are set for the fourth batter of the inning here with two away.
Hyatt to bat.
As we've got, I think somebody returned a foul ball over into the left field corner, and there are, got to pause to get that cleaned up as Hyatt will come into the DP spot. The designated player swings and puts another ball out there into the left field corner, and it is caught by Scheiplein up against the wall as the inning comes to a close. So Marion gets a leadoff walk and nothing else. The Knights, no runs, no hits, no errors, and one left. It's Marion nothing. Goshen coming up after half an inning here on Go Leafs Live. Edith Vega will lead off for Goshen College here in the first inning as they take on NAIA number 5, Marion University. Vega steps into the left-handed batter's box and will get things ready to rock and roll. She was 1 for 2 in the first game with a couple of walks, and lined out in the 7th inning with the tying run on second base. As Sarah McPherson in the circle gets ready to deliver her first pitch, right-handed pitcher, but very long arms and long legs on the hurler, which I bring up because being able to throw the ball is really a function of leverage, as McPherson's listed at 5'7", but looks bigger than that to me, out of Lebanon, Indiana, and Lebanon High School. And the second pitch of the at-bat is up high, ball 2. Vega moves some dirt around with her foot in what is left of the batter's boxes. They didn't reline those in between games, which surprises me a little bit. And the 2-0 to Vega misses outside, ball 3. Like I was talking about a moment ago, well, maybe I should make this point later, but I started it, so I'm going to finish as Vega takes strike 2. Last year, these two teams met on, it was March 10th last year. The calendar has rolled over a week here, so we're meeting on the 16th instead of the 10th. And then on the 11th, Rudy Gobert famously got coronavirus, and the entire sports world shut down, and soon we were all, not to turn this into a history lesson, but
Right fielder number 22, Mia.
the operative portion of this is that the sports world kind of stopped between the 10th and the 13th of March last year. And anyway, in the conference openers for these two teams, Marion beat Goshen 5-0 in the first game and 10-2 in the second. The second game ending by the run rule in 6 innings. First pitch to Pawelski is way up high. So Goshen losing the first game 5-4, still an improvement over last year. And we're actually using the same conference schedule this year that we were supposed to use last year. So just like last year, Goshen slated to host Marion and Indiana Wesleyan in the first 2 games. Second pitch to Pawelski is a strike across the letters. 1 ball and 1 strike. As with the first game included, because we can do that now, we have the technology. Pawelski hitting at 344 on the season. She takes a strike, as I think she thought that was inside. Plate umpire disagreed. 1 balls and 2 strikes. What we do not have the technology to do is update Marion's season stats on the fly. But we can tell you that McPherson's got a 1.19 ERA coming in. 3 complete games in her 4 starts. And Pawelski fouls one over in the direction of intrepid sports reporter Evan Lepak from the Goshen News, who's shooting photos beside the first base dugout. McPherson 2 shutouts in those 3 complete games. She has allowed opponents to hit $180 off of her, just 6 extra base hits and 18 hits overall. She's given up 5 runs and 29 in the 3rd innings for a 1.19 ERA. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Following Pawelski, Catellis, and then Quintero if the inning continues. Scoreless game, bottom half of the first. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Pawelski swings and grounds it on the ground over to the left side as it is thrown across by Phillips, and she is retired. Works out like a bunt, but no sacrifice when you swing the bat, because I do not make the rules.
GP number 4, Ree Catellis.
So Catellis steps in for the Maple Leafs. She was 1 for 3 in the first game with a single, and that single went about 30 feet. It was a bunt. Usually makes the proverbial line move by hitting the ball much farther. And she takes a strike here. Catellis, a 463 hitter coming into the day. Her average actually would have gone down with the 1 for 3 showing. And the second pitch of the at-bat misses outside, ball 1. Of course, catching is one of the most labor-intensive positions on the field, and that's what she was doing in the first game. So she's hitting 455 now, 20 for 44, slugging a team-high 841, and in fact, Groneveld has actually passed her for the team lead, as Jolie is now hitting 463 after that 3 for 3 showing. The 1-1 to Catellis is a strike, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here we go again. 16th pitch from McPherson on the way. Catellis takes outside, ball 2. Go-ahead run on first here in the bottom of the first. McPherson's got the ball. Spins it around in her glove. Comes home with the 2-2 pitch. Outside, ball 3. Ree with the slightly open stance out of Wixom, Michigan and Lakeland High School. The payoff pitch is inside, ball 4, and she's on base with a walk.
First baseman, number 27, Bernadette Quintero.
So Bernadette Quintero comes to the plate for Goshen College. She is 3rd on the team with a 353 average, and she too has some power, slugging at 529. That is why she is in the cleanup spot and taking ball 1. As the right-handed batter faces the right-handed pitcher. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one missed low and in, ball 2. Vega jumps off the base, kind of keeps the fear of whatever you have fear of in the Marion defense, but doesn't really make an attempt to run. She's, there's nobody real close to second base, but there's a runner there, of course, as the 2-0 to Quintero is up high, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes, and 1 out. We are about 11 minutes into this ball game here in the bottom of the first inning. And the 3-0 pitch is a strike across the knees on the inside corner. I'm not sure if Quintero thought it was low or thought it was inside, but she tried to step out of the way of it and convince the plate umpire that he should call it a ball. It didn't work. Now the 3-1 pitch on the way. Ball 4 inside, and the bases are loaded. So Vega on first, Catellis on second, Quintero on third. Pawelski made an out in the process.
1 out. Stacy Landry up to bat for the Leafs.
And the third baseman, Stacy Landry, comes into the batter's box. Landry, the right-handed hitter. Wears uniform number 9 on the back of her. Actually, that's her jacket, not her uniform shirt. But she comes in hitting .235 on the year, 8 for 34. She's got 2 doubles and 1 run driven in, and wouldn't mind increasing some of those totals as she backs out of the way of the first pitch for a ball. And the count is 1-0. McPherson has thrown 23 pitches and missed the strike zone with 15 of them. Here's her 24th pitch. It's a strike across the letters as Landry started to swing and held back, and while it was technically a strike, it was right at the top of the zone and probably not the best pitch to hit. The 1-1 count coming here, or 1-1 pitch coming here to Landry. That is well high and made Stotts dive over into the left-handed batter's box. And the count is 2-1. Time's going to be called, and Brina Smith runs out to the mound to talk maybe some calm or some last-minute advice into her pitcher. Smith was herself an All-American pitcher for the Knights a couple of years ago, made the transition into coaching because they decided she knows a thing or two about pitching after doing it for 4 years at the college level. Of course, for some of us, McPherson's number 14 will be synonymous with Ernie Banks and Let's Play 2, and that's exactly what we do on every game day here in the Crossroads League. 2 balls and a strike to Landry. Base is loaded, 1 out. Ball in the outfield could make things interesting. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It's a strike on the inside corner. The challenge here can be when you've got a pitcher that's fairly wild, you're tempted to not swing the bat and let them beat themselves, and with 2 strikes against you here, that can work not in your favor. Landry with a slightly open stance. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled off to the right side. It's actually a decent approach shot as it's going to roll up there right next to the practice golf green. But it's very hard to putt a softball. I mean, I would imagine. I've never tried it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. McPherson up to 27 pitches, and she's gotten 1 out. Here's the 2-2 pitch once again. Swung on, hit on the ground to shortstop. The throw home is in time to get Vega, and the throw over to first not in time to get Landry. So it's a fielder's choice. 6-2 on the out at the plate. And the bases remain loaded for
your catcher, number 5,
Kyra Wilson, the catcher.
Up to bat for the Leafs.
One of the 2 Maple Leafs in the lineup that we did not see in the first game. She's making her 6th start of the year, batting .357, which is 5 for 14. She's scored 6 times, seeing some of that action as a pinch runner, and she takes ball 1 inside. While this has not been a great inning for Marion in terms of the 3 walks, if they can get out of the inning still scoreless, that's a major mark in McPherson's positive side. The 1-0 pitch fouled straight back, a ball and a strike. Catellis on third, Quintero on second, Landry on first, and 2 away in the bottom of the first. The 1-1 to Wilson misses, I think, low ball 2. As, again, we are offset up the third baseline here at the Ingold Athletic Complex, so it's a little bit difficult to tell exactly where the pitch crosses the plate. Got a better handle on up or down than we do on inside or outside, and the pitch to Wilson swung on and popped up to the right side. Moving over to her left is Cadle. She will reel it in as the inning comes to a close. No runs, no hits, 3 walks, and a fielder's choice for the Maple Leafs, who leave the bases loaded. And after 16 minutes and 1 inning, it's Knights nothing, Maple Leafs nothing on Go Leafs Live. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 in the Marion order due up here in the top half of inning number 2. Norman, Foster, and Horan to face Allison Catenacci, who needed just 10 pitches to get through the top of the first before Goshen made McPherson work through almost 30 in the bottom of the inning. First pitch here to Norman is a little bit low for ball 1. As we'll take a look back at the first game, and Norman Sierra was 2 for 2. A run scored, and a walk for her, along with a double and a sacrifice. Quintero and Hyatt each went deep in the first game, and Marion added a run later in the ball game as well to win 5-4. As I suppose they had a run in the first, that'd be earlier. The 2-1 pitch swung on, grounded back past the mound. Coming in to field it is Groneveld, and she will throw across for the 4th out of the ball game for the Knights on offense. That'd be one way of looking at the game clock. Of course, they don't put a clock on the scoreboard for softball, but you're granted 21 outs and 7 times 3, as it were. And yeah, every time you make one of them, the game moves 5% or so of the way closer to being finished. As the first pitch to Foster misses low and away. Foster came in